Skyscrapers pierce the clouds, bullet trains streak across landscapes, and digital screens glow with promises of a brighter future. This is the carefully curated image of modernization we're sold, a narrative of relentless progress and universal benefit. Yet beneath this glossy surface lie forgotten stories. Indigenous communities displaced by dams, workers poisoned in factories, and ecosystems destroyed for raw materials. The dominant discourse celebrates outcomes while systematically erasing costs, asking us to marvel at the destination while ignoring the brutality of the journey. Modernization doesn't simply overlook harm, it actively constructs systems to make harm disappear. Official reports quantify growth in GDP percentages while omitting displaced populations. Corporate presentations highlight job creation numbers, but black out occupational disease statistics. Museums glorify industrial pioneers, while their toxic legacies remain unarchived. This isn't accidental oversight, but deliberate design. Filing cabinets categorize progress and collateral damage in separate, never-intersecting folders. The paperwork of development always has space for steel production tonnage, never for the names of those buried beneath it. Consider the fishing village of Pungyong, where 137 families lived for generations until a petrochemical complex arrived. Government brochures promised regional revitalization, but within 5 years, the bay turned crimson with algal blooms. Fishermen's protest footage was deleted from news archives as irrelevant, while ribbon-cutting ceremonies were preserved in high definition. Today, the village exists only in fading photographs and elders' memories, completely erased from official maps, which now show only an industrial growth zone. This isn't an exception, but the blueprint. Modernization requires empty spaces, and the fastest way to create them is to pretend nothing was ever there. The most potent tool of erasure is the myth of inevitability, the constant refrain that this is just how progress works. Historical records reveal the truth. Every development project involved conscious choices to value some lives over others. When textile workers in 1920s Osaka died from factory conditions, owners called it the price of national advancement. When Seoul's urban poor were evicted for the 1988 Olympics, officials declared it necessary for Korea's global debut. This language hasn't evolved, it simply changes locations. The violence isn't collateral, it's the foundation. By framing harm as unavoidable, the system absolves itself from accountability. Alternative narratives already exist in the cracks of the dominant story. In Taiwan, indigenous groups map ancestral lands erased by tech parks. In Jeju, women divers document ocean changes ignored by tourism reports. These aren't just protests, they're counter-archives proving that modernization's single story is a fiction. True progress would mean measuring success not by what we build, but by what we preserve. Living wages alongside living ecosystems, innovation that doesn't require disappearance. The question isn't whether a better world is possible, but whether we'll finally recognize the worlds we've already destroyed in its name.